Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hello.
Here for week 2 of Halls of Torment. Halls of Torment. Moon,
Yep.
how did your halls... Were they tormenting as a cat walks in front of the camera?
A little bit. I barely got a chance to play this year. Jesus. Um,
I mean, both, sure.
it's getting close to the end.
Yep.
It's close to the end. Um, it went poorly, we'll say. I had a couple of different runs, but I don't know if it was just the vibe was a problem for me this week. Not the
Mm.
game's vibe, my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna die. It's the stupid stuff all the time.
Oh my god, ditto. Yeah. Have you tried the... I think it's the 4th area? The icy, snowy area?
No, dude, I'm still at the second area.
Okay, so I had the experience this week where I'm like, man, I did great in the second area. I did pretty all right in the third area. First area, I've got down, no problem. Let's go with the 4th area. It's like a snowy, icy cave area. I got destroyed. Destroyed. Just one of those, like, I made it 2 minutes in, completely dead. I was like, wow, okay, I guess that I need to keep unlocking more achievements and
More
upgrading
upgrades.
characters and get more gear, I guess, and figure out how to do that. But that was a rude awakening of me just being like walking into ice caves all cocky, like I got this, no big deal. Bleh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did have a couple of. I didn't play this as much as I wanted to this week. I really wanted to kind of tuck into this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a couple of solid runs. I had one run that went to the end of the first area, and I defeated that boss. I had a run with the sorceress, I think it is, the one we talked about last week that I hadn't played yet, the one with the chain lightning. And then I just those little ability scrolls you pick up, the little yellow scrolls. Every one of those, I just picked the fire spells for, and
Mm-hmm.
I wrecked that run. I beat the brakes off of every single boss in that run. Near the end of that run, bosses were showing up, and I was killing them in about 10 seconds. It was ridiculous. Like I'm not even quite sure how I massaged the upgrade skills to get to the point where I was doing that much damage. I really wish I would have
Mm-hmm.
recognized what I was doing, because I want to do that again. Um, but that was a really great run. I unlocked, I think, 2 more characters. The It's like a holy warrior sort of thing with like
A
a...
paladin is the word you're looking for there. A paladin.
Is that... I don't remember if it's called a paladin or if it's
I
called
don't
like
know
a...
if it is or not.
if
I'm
it
just saying a holy warrior is a paladin.
I, the thing is, I don't think it's called paladin. I'd look it up, but that's against the purpose of the show. Um, but it has like a giant war mace hammer sort of thing. So that's an interesting one. I don't that one. I had a bad run with that one. Um, but I finally figured out how to use. So when you rescue the guy in the 3rd area, I think he's a potions guy. It's either the 2nd or the 3rd area. He's a potions guy, and he's like, "Oh, here, I'm gonna give you this ring. Slap that thing on. It'll show you where herbs and things are in the levels. Bring those,
Okay.
bring those back to me. We'll make some potions." Run over run, could not figure out how to do it. A couple of runs, I realized I hadn't had it equipped. Needed to
Okay.
do that. Well, one of the confusing parts about the game, as you're unlocking more it's not confusing. I need to pay attention. When you unlock a new character, that character doesn't have any equipment on them by default. So if you've equipped the exterminator with the loadout that you want, that applies to only the exterminator, and not
Okay.
any of your other characters, which is great because if you want each individual class to have a different loadout, that's perfect. You can naturally do that without having to like have mods or whatever. But that means when you start a new character and you load in, you just don't have anything. So I would be going in and be like, I'm not seeing any of these herbs. What is this dude talking about? Had to equip the ring to do it,
Yeah.
and then I got a new icon on my like right next to the experience bar, the blue one that grows from bottom to top. There's a little
Yeah.
skull there with a green outline. I was like, cool. I don't. What am I supposed to
Okay.
do with that? Finally, on one run, I noticed the closer you get to an herb, the more you see kind of a wiggly, wobbly green arrow coming off of it. That gives you an approximate area. So Moon's cat just leaped up, headbutted the mic, which headbutted the mic into Moon's mouth. So,
Yep.
thanks, Louise. Um,
Oh.
so you get kind of like a general direction of like, hey, it's northeast, and the arrow gets uh, darker, or I guess
Mhm.
brighter, maybe is the better word, as you get closer to it, and then you can kind of get a general area. When you're in that area, there'll be like a giant green glowing herb on the ground. You run across it, it gets sent up automatically. Um,
Okay.
so that's I. A lot of the potions are like grab two of these and two of these and two of these. That makes one potion. So I haven't gotten to the point where I can make one of those yet. Um, but it has been interesting so far because I like that coming into this game fresh, it seems like there's a ton of chases to do in this game. You have a whole bunch of gear that you can find from the in the an individual run and send it back up to purchase. You have your skill, like your bonuses that you can buy, the ones
Mhm.
where it's like, oh, 10%. Now you have 10% more regenerative healing, and next one's 20% more. You have the potions you can make. You have the, and then you have that giant like grid system where you're unlocking all of those
Yeah. The square
achievements.
grid.
Yeah,
You
the
might as
square
well
grid.
call it the square grid.
Yeah. I like that there's so many of those things so that I feel like I'm chasing two or three things in every run of like, all right, I got to look for some new gear or better gear than I have right now. I got to make sure I send that up. I now occasionally find empty potion bottles that I can send up with the bucket, and that doesn't take the bucket. So like when you send a gear piece, you can only send one per run, but you can send multiple
Mhm.
empty potion bottles, which is great. And I went and looked at the square grid, and I have like an extra 35% experience I'm getting now because of the amount of squares that I've unlocked in that
Yeah.
the like Final Fantasy 12 license grid system. Um,
Yep.
so that feels pretty good as someone, like we've talked about especially a lot recently. We really like the a meta progression. I don't mind games
Mhm.
that don't have them and it just relies on your sort of game knowledge and skill. But boy, it feels really good to fill up a whole bunch of bars and unlock a whole bunch of achievements every single run. Where it's like, yeah, I did do 3 million meteor damage this one run. Thank you. That's fantastic. Now I get a bonus.
Yeah. I love the I love the ones that pop up and it's like you did 1 million damage with your primary weapon, and it's
Yep.
just like, yeah, baby.
Or it's like I
Yeah, I
killed like
did.
50,000 enemies this run. It's like, yeah, that's real good.
Mhm.
And there are specific ones per map too, which is a lot of fun. So, and I'm getting to the point now where my runs are lasting long enough that the especially for the abilities you pick up, when you unlock the third level of those things, like do 1 million damage or whatever on a single run,
Mhm.
I'm unlocking a modifier for
Yeah, for the fourth tier of it.
yeah, so it changes it reminds me a lot of Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde, where it's like, yeah, you've leveled this thing up or your character enough to the point where you can kind of go one of two paths, like the those orbs that spin around you. I've
Yes.
unlocked the additional tier of that, and one of the additional tiers is it, from what I remember, is it pulls those in closer to you, but they spin faster.
The old dragon's trick.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. I was sort of just expecting it to be like, yeah, it just gets stronger, does 35% more damage, but having that kind of additional modifier on top of what it already does, I think that's pretty cool. So, Halls of
Uh-huh.
Torment is pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I have a lot of stuff left to unlock in Vampire Survivors Ode to Castlevania. Still, I think I still have 40 things to unlock. I'm playing Halls of Torment because this one's clicking with me as much as Vampire Survivors did originally. Where it's like, I got half an hour. This run's only half an
Yeah.
hour. No big deal. It's fine. I'll just run 5 of them.
Yep.
It'll be all right. So
Half an hour turns into 6 hours.
yeah, yeah. It's great for me too as a stay-at-home dad. Where it's like, I'll do a run while the laundry's going. Ah, my run's over, my laundry's over. Perfect timing. Just switch over to the laundry. Do another run and do that before I
Uh-huh.
make lunch. Yeah, sure. I could do one more. No big deal. Pickup isn't for a while. It'll be
I mean,
easy.
let me tell you, like the beauty of putting a load of laundry in and seeing that 55-minute timer and then being like,
Mm-hmm.
eh, well, I guess I got nothing to do for 55 minutes. Let me
That's
just
right.
load something up I can
Let's
play.
just do 2 runs of Halls of Torment. Fits right in there. No big deal.
Katamari Damacy level in my case today.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, roll up the whole world. Why not? All right. Any final thoughts here for week 2? Sounds like we've kind of discussed it all. I think.
I think that's it on my side.
Yeah, I'm happy we're finally getting around to this after it came out of 1.0, especially since people have been speaking so highly of it for the last couple of months, as it's kind of been moving through early access. So it's cool. I like it. I want to go play more of it.
Uh-huh.
Like right now would be great. So let's go. All right, see you next
That
run.
square grid, man.
That's right. Filling in the square grid. All right, we'll see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.